Hi, I'm Magic Ben, and I have here with me my friend Liz, and Ken, her husband, is on the camera. Now, Liz, we haven't prearranged anything. You don't know what you're about to see. And this is being filmed live, single continuous shot, no camera tricks. Okay, so this trick is called Texas Mystery. Okay, and Texas Hold'em is one of the most popular forms of poker today. Now, you know about, I don't know if you've played poker, do you know about
I know
the poker
poker,
hands?
not
Okay,
Texas
yeah.
Hold'em.
So that's fine. I printed out this thing. These are the poker hands, just so in case you're not familiar with them. So you basically in poker, you use 5 cards to make a hand, okay? And if you have nothing special, the high card is the winning hand. So whoever has the highest card is a winning hand. Otherwise, if you have 1 pair, that's better than 1 high card. If you have 2 pair, that's better than 1 pair. If you have 3 of a kind, like 3 eights here out of 5 cards, that beats 2 pair. A straight 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or any kind of run like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, is a straight, and that beats all these other hands. A flush, all of the cards of whatever value are of the same suit, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, beats all the other hands. A full house, a triplicate, 3 of a kind with a pair, beats all these other things, and then 4 of a kind beats all those other things. A straight flush, which is a sequence, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, of all of one's suit, beats all of these other things. And then the highest hand you can have in poker is called a royal flush, where it's the highest court cards, 10, jack, queen, king, ace, of all of one's suit. Okay, so that's the, and I'll keep that here in case you don't play poker that much. I'm just facing this here towards the camera so we can see the thing. So now, of course, poker, these are poker chips. So I'm going to give you a set of poker chips, and I'll have a set of poker chips. And these are just a regular set of cards. Okay, I'm going to have you shuffle these. They're just a regular set of cards here, and we'll have you shuffle them. Okay, very good. Give him a cut. Yep. Okay. Now, have you heard of Texas Hold'em poker?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll explain it. I'll explain it to you, and for the people who are watching who aren't maybe so familiar with it. In Texas Hold'em poker, so I'll just go through the whole thing so you see it. So basically, we're each dealt the 2 players are dealt what are called hole cards. So they're cards that only you see, and they're in the hole, and they're hidden. But you get to see them, and we'll play some face up so you see them. So these would be your hole cards. These would be my hole cards. Okay. So you have 2 cards that only you see. I have 2 cards that only I see. Okay. And we bid. Okay, and bidding can get kind of complex in poker, but basically we're going to simplify the whole bidding thing in poker so that we just have five chips of various values, 10, 25, 50, 100, and 250, okay? So now, what in Texas Hold'em poker, ultimately this is the way it works. You're going to have 5 cards, and from these 7 cards, you're going to make the best 5 cards hand, okay? So eventually, they don't get turned over all at once, but basically, you would make the best hand you can from the community cards, and there can be a number of players. I mean, they could have 4 players or whatever, right? And they would each all have whole cards, okay? So if there were 4 players, each player is taking their whole cards plus the community cards. This player is taking their whole cards plus the community cards. You would take your cards plus the community cards, and this 4th player would take their whole cards plus the community cards. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So now, what actually happens is there's something called the pre-flop bidding. So before any cards are turned over, you basically bid on how well you think your cards are. Now, not all things are kind of equal. Like, so for example, if you had a pair, that's a very strong whole cards, right? A pair, because that's automatically already the highest thing you can have with 2 cards. Plus, it's a good segue into a 3 of a kind and possibly like a full house. So you would bid very strongly if you got a pair, right? So you might bid like 100, something very very strong. Okay, so that's called the pre-flop bidding. Then what happens is in the flop, 3 cards are turned over. And suppose there was a 6 here, just to illustrate. So suppose there was a 6 in the pre-flop, or in the flop. So in the flop, 3 cards are turned over, and then another bidding round happens. So so I kind of have nothing because 5 ace, there's nothing, but you have 3 of a kind, right? So that's very 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 strong. That's already. I mean, that's most hands I would say are kind of around here, right? Like it's very unusual to have higher hands than that. So you'd probably bid like 250 here. Like 3 of a kind is already probably a winning hand, very likely, and you're potentially on the way to like a full house or even better. So I would bid also, so I would bid whatever, and I would bid for the we would. If I had a good hand, now poker gets interesting when kind of both players have good hands. Okay, so the next thing is called the turn. Okay, so bidding happens after we'll put the bid like here for your pre-flop. We'll put the flop bid here, and the next card that gets turned over is called the turn. Okay, so flop, turn, and river. So the turn gets turned over, and then you would bid again. And then finally the river is turned over. Okay, so now at this point you have a full house, right? 9, 9, 6, 6, 6. So you bid like the highest thing you can. Okay, so. Now, we're going to simplify the bidding a little bit in this magic trick. What we're going to do is you just have access to these 5 chips, okay? And it's kind of represent the overall bidding of the whole thing of what you would be doing. So you can't fold. So in normal poker, you can just say I'm out, I'm done, I fold. Okay, that means I quit. Okay, so you have nothing, and if by the turn of the river, or like you have nothing, you would just normally just kind of fold and say I'm done. But in this thing, you can't fold, and you'll always continue to bid. And what I want you to do to bid is basically to choose to choose a value of the chip that represents what you think your hand will be. So if you think you have a very strong hole cards in the pre-flop bidding, like I said, maybe you'd put here. But if you have kind of nothing, like if you have sort of 2 random nothing cards, maybe you only bid 10. Now it's your choice. You can bid high if you want to, but just bid what you think you might bid. And as cards, I'll have you shuffle again. As cards get turned over, I'm going to ask you to use one of your chips secretly. Like I won't see these. Like you're going to secretly use one of these chips to bid. You choose what you want. You're going to use a bid what you think. Maybe there was I don't know if there was I should probably give an example where suppose in the flop there's a 6 and like, oh wow, that's a pair, that's pretty good, and maybe you want to put a 250 down. Or if you don't think that's so great, you can put 100 down. It's up to you. Okay, and then as we go to the turn to the turn and then the river, you can bid what you think. So like in the end, at the total end of this, if this were the actual thing, you do have 2 pairs, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good hand, okay? So maybe you think, oh, I'll put 250 down, okay? And then maybe here I'm at 50 because that 2 didn't, the turn didn't help. But at the river it did help a lot, so maybe you put thing. Do you get it? Does it make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have you shuffle again. You're going to use okay, and you're gonna just deal yourself your whole cards. Okay, after you shuffle. And the point of this magic trick is, I'm gonna try to just simply read you and your body language, and I'm gonna try to predict without looking at any of the cards. So the thing that the thing is, I'm never going to see any of the cards. Okay, only you'll see the cards. So that's
Okay.
very different than normal poker.
Okay.
You'll so I'm not going to look at your cards. Only you get to see them. So you
Okay.
can secretly peek at your cards and show the camera too.
Okay.
Okay, so so now you're going to eventually be dealing cards out, and only you can look at the cards that you can look at up to that point. So like we're in the pre-flop bidding. In the flop, you'll deal 3 community cards. You'll be able to look at the 3 community cards. I won't look at them, and I'm going to try to predict what you're going to bid. So
Okay.
in the you're going to bid right now. Pick one
Okay.
of these chips. And in the pre-flop bidding, based on the strength of what you think those cards are, take one of those chips
Should I
and
show- should I show?
yeah, show the camera. Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Okay. Now we'll put it here. Okay. And now you're gonna oh, I'm gonna take one of these. Okay. All right. And then you're gonna deal out 3 flop cards.
But
Okay?
you're not getting.
This is the pre-flop.
You're not getting any cards.
No, no.
Okay.
These are the community cards now.
Okay.
3. Okay. Now, in normal Texas Hold'em poker, these would be face up. We would all see these. But in this magic trick, you're going to look at these. I'm not going to see them. So go
Okay.
ahead and look at those 3 cards and show them to the camera. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you can show the camera the 2 whole cards again. Yep. Okay. All right, good. Okay, so now,
Have I look at them?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so now, in normal Texas Hold'em poker, these 3 would be face up, and you would, together with your whole cards, you would then, you could already make a 5-card hand, right? Because there's 5 cards here. But in the end, you're going to make the best 5-card hand out of 7. Okay, so you're now is the flop bidding. What would normally happen is the flop bidding. So if these are amazing cards that mix well with your whole cards, you would obviously put a very high bid. Otherwise, if it does nothing for you, you can put a low bid, so you can do whatever you like.
Okay. Where should I put this?
Yeah, just put it here. Yeah. Okay, so okay, and the next card is the turn, and I think I'm gonna put this down. Okay, so the next card goes down. Okay, and you can look at it and show the camera. Okay, and you show their whole cards again. Okay, yep. Feel free to look at all the cards again. Good? Okay. So now this is the turn, and there's a bidding round that goes usually after the turn. All these cards would be face up. Now you're making a hand. You have 6 pieces of knowledge that you would make a 5-card hand from.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and put one of your bid chips down for what you think is your...
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. Okay, and then the last card goes down, and this is the what's called the river. So go ahead and look at the river card. Show the camera. Okay.
can't keep in my head what are here. Okay. Okay.
Okay, good. So now you have your full information, all 7 cards, and you know essentially the hand that you'll be able to make, right? So go ahead and put your final bid down. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Now, poker is what's very interesting about poker is you know, poker is part psychology, it's part card game. It's a lot about reading the person, and you know, if you know me, I'm also fluent in sign language. So nonverbal communication is 50 to 70% of communication. It's a big thing. So there's you've heard of like reading tells and reading the room. It's a lot about reading nonverbal communication. Okay, so this magic trick is about basically me trying to read you, and I'm trying to guess what your bids are. And so let's turn in the pre-flop. Let's reveal this stuff. In the pre-flop, what were your cards? An ace and a 3. That's pretty good. An ace is already the highest card in the high card, and has lots of combinatorial potentials. But now they are of different suits, so that's not great, right? So what was your bid? It was a 25. Okay. And what did I think you would bid? 25. Okay. So now the next piece of information you have, that's the pre-flop, and this is the flop. So you turn those 3 cards over. Okay. Now at this point, you still only have an ace-high card. You have a 2 and a 3. This doesn't help you much, and I kind of read that. So what did you bid? And let's see what I thought you bid. Okay, so in the next is called the turn, and now you're trying to make the best 5 card hand out of 6. Okay, and you have now a pair of 3s, and that's you know. That, believe it or not, is not bad. Because, you know, just then a bunch of random cards, you know, a pair isn't bad. Okay, so what did you went up to 50, okay? And I thought you went up to 50. Okay, and the last card is the river, and got a 6. Okay, so in the end, I think you have a pair, right? Because there's have a straight. And what did you bid on that?
Wow.
All right. So I'm Magic Ben. I hope you enjoyed that video called Texas Mystery, and please check out some of my other Magic Ben videos. And have a great day.